Hey guys, welcome back to another spray paint tutorial. And this one I'm going to tackle palm trees and feathers. Someone online had asked about this, and I realized I didn't have a video pertaining to it, and I've been sitting here kind of thinking about what to tackle next as far as the tutorial goes. So I'm going to show you the quick and easy way I do it. That I was shown and how I've been doing it for the better part of 10 years now. What you're going to need is a strip of paper. You're going to be using pretty much the same tool that you'd use to make the waterfalls, or at least how I was shown to make waterfalls. I'm not sure if you do it differently. But so all you end up doing is taking a strip of paper. I like to do is use my my palette knife, and let's see here, move that up a little bit. So this paper, it's still coated. It's pretty much the same paper I work on, coated side, same stock. Sometimes I'll cut it into strips to use as like a guide or something. So just take this side. I showed this in my my one basics video, I think, about covering how to do waterfalls. What I do is put a little crease in it, fold it up a little bit, kind of work on that edge. And then all you're gonna do is rip it in half, and then now you see you got this great feathered edges to it, and that's what we're gonna use. Just tear off a piece. I like to tear it off as needed, or if you want to, you get a razor knife or something. You just cut it into pre-sized strips. If you go through making a lot of paintings like I used to, and still kind of do, it helps just kind of like pre-make a lot of your materials, so you're not having to do it on the spot while you're making it. It saves you a little time. So what I do is tear off a little strip like this. Like I said, you want to get that nice kind of feathered edge on there. And now we're going to need some paint. I'm going to start with just a basic black silhouette to start. I mean, as you get comfortable with this, you can start incorporating color, and I'll show you how to do that too. So we're just going to throw a little bit of black paint down here, get a little pool. Now, you don't want to overload too much on here. Just going to give it like a nice little dab. Like I said, it's going to be very similar to how you do the waterfalls. Now, what I like to do is come in and make a guide. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're just going to brush off to the edge. You're going to swing it out and then swipe off that line. And now see with the ruffled edge to it, it kind of helps you give the illusion of the many little leaves on a palm frond. See, you just kind of work clockwise like that, and then what's easier is to rotate it around when you want to tackle the other side. Bring it up, throw one up in the middle there. And I know when palm trees grow, you always got the palms coming out from the middle there, and they're not always fully open. But then as it comes out, now you don't technically have to do that guide. I just find it helpful. I mean, you can just work them in there if you want to follow like an imaginary line, but I just find creating that main stem to it, yeah, just like that. And then you come off the bottom here, give yourself the trunk, and there you go. Very simple, basic. It's like repeating the waterfall pattern, but just make sure you're getting that nice kind of taper at the end here. When you look at a palm frond, the way they hang, you get that nice little tapered edge to it. And I have seen it done where people, I mean, you can go a lot. Some will just leave it like that. I don't know. I don't think that's a better look. I've seen it done. This is my preferred method, but you can just kind of get really wild with it and load it in there. This paint's drying really fast. I got a fan going behind me. But yeah, that's the preferred method there. Don't worry about that. I mean, you can see the different stuff. You're just going to work it in there and try to swipe it. Like I said, I like getting the little guide in. You can have some dead fronds kind of hanging out toward the bottom. If you want to, you can also come in the edge of your finger. Just put little dabs for coconuts. Quick and easy palm trees like that. Now color, you can still use the same one. I suggest scrapping it so you don't mix the paints. Color, you can get, I like to use the same color combination I use for what is it? for like bushes, like basic green bushes. What you're gonna do is use some yellow, need a blue, and a white. So now this gets a little trickier, but still the same principle, same, you know, technique for creating it, but I prefer a darker blue. You see that? Now you come at this sideways and you're going to pick up a bunch of this color and work it in there just like that. I need to kill this fan. Make sure you get enough paint on there. Yeah, just like that. You know, experiment with colors, different settings. For whatever reason, this is not coming out as heavy as the other one. It's starting to look more like this one, if anything. It's probably the paint's drying up and I'm not getting as much flow with it. Get a little more paint on there. That's better. Just like that. Happy little palm trees. And you can kind of work it a little bit. Don't be afraid to add a little bit of pressure if you need to. Like I said, this paint's all kind of drying up now, so it's not going to be as pretty. But don't be afraid to add a little bit of, you know, down pressure. See, a lot of your paint's going to build up back off here, and you might not get it right on the edge. So it's definitely one where you have to kind of play around with it a bit. I mean, like with all art, yeah, you can learn the technique, but then a lot of it's just building the experience and learning, like, okay, this is, you know, this is what happens when I do this. This is what happens when I do that. You know, play around. It's okay to make, you know, quote unquote mistakes, but because it's all part of the learning experience. So there you have it, quick and easy. Your waterfall papers, dab in there, use that. Use your guideline and then just peel off of it there. And now this, we're going to flip this over though. I got a little something on the back side here, but we want to demonstrate feathers. Feathers is much the same way. I'm going to tear off. Yeah, we'll flip it over here. Ignore that. What we are going to do for feathers, I'll probably just still stick with black. There's no need to get crazy with it. Now, it's been a while since I've had to make feathers, but it's still much the same technique. I used to, again, like have a guideline, but now with feathers, you're gonna, you know, imagine the shape of the feather, how it kind of tapers down to the end there. You're just gonna pull off that center line, but you want to try to keep the edges, you know, aligned, same amount of paint. Just take it down to the bottom like that. I like to throw like a little curve in there. And again, rotate it around to catch the other side. Now these typically look better if you use different colors. This is just to show you the basics of the technique. Again, you're just going to pull off that center line and taper it down to the bottom there. Again, I think partly it's my paper's a little on the damp side because we had a bunch of rain yesterday and I left everything out here, out back. But yeah, center line, and you just want to pull off that center line and taper it down to the ends. You know, rotate the side, give it a little curve out. Like I said, all you're doing is that same technique for the palm tree, just that's the approach, but just think about the shape and curve that you'd get in a you know, in like a large bird feather. You know, it doesn't have to look at, you know, a feather for reference and you know, work off of that. You know, just look at a reference and the shape. You know, not everything's going to be 100%. It's okay, like in this kind of art, have some room for artistic interpretation to it. But that is the basic technique right there for doing feathers. And again, like, experiment with color combinations. It's been a while since I've I actually had to make feathers or use them in anything, so I feel like I'm a little rushed there. But there you have it. Feathers, palm tree leaves. It's simple. Tackle the technique, practice with it, and you'll be, knocking out beach scenes in no time. Thanks for checking in with this. Appreciate it, guys. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I'm so happy to hear my tutorials and stuff are helping everybody that tunes in for them. Any ideas for anything else in the future, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas or new things to show people. I know a lot of beginners out there. So with that, stay tuned for more. I'm going to keep pumping out videos and more tutorials as the days come. So thanks again, and happy painting.